guys, welcome to my podcast, Hot Mess Hate, where we do real talk about real things from the silly to the serious. So, since the beginning of the year, we've had some car issues. So my car is in the shop after having gotten hit at the beginning of the year to get some repairs done. When I took it to the shop, I didn't think I was going to need a rental, so I didn't ask for one through my insurance company. Turns out that my extra vehicle decided to die, so I did need one. So I ended up calling the insurance company back and asking for a rental, and that went super smoothly and very painlessly, which was totally awesome. When I was talking to the insurance agent who was helping me, she was really, really nice and she was really helpful. And at the end of our call, she told me the insurance or the rental car company would give me a call within an hour and we would schedule pickup. So that was fine. I called the very beginning of my work day, and 2 hours later, I hadn't heard from the rental company. So I figured they would just call later, of course, but I had a meeting. So we started the meeting. 2 hours and 5 minutes later, these people finally called me. So I had literally just started a meeting. So obviously I didn't answer the phone. Once the meeting was done, I gave them a call, or I checked my voicemail and they told me to call them back. So I tried to call them back and I called a couple of times, actually, a lot of times throughout the day, and just couldn't get through. So I was getting stressed out about picking up this rental. I didn't know if they needed anything from me, and I kept calling and I couldn't get through. So the branch closed at 5 p.m. I had to drive from my work to my rental place closer to my home. And if you listen to some of my previous podcasts, you know I live almost an hour away from where I work. So we didn't get to the rental agency until about 4:50. This place closes at 5. So I felt really bad going in 10 minutes before they closed. And I didn't even know if they actually had a rental car for me. So I walk in. And the gentleman there is really, really nice. And he's like, hey, it's totally okay. Our phones were out all day. So they could call out, but we couldn't call in. This dude was super, super nice. He had a really cute dog. He showed me pictures. And I don't know if he was in a good mood or what, but he gave me a really nice car. So they actually did have the rental for me, which was nice. So anytime you rent a car, you always go out and you walk around the car and you check the car for, crazy things. So this gentleman walked outside with me and we walked around this really nice black mid-size SUV and we're looking for damage. And as I walk around this black SUV, I realize there are little silver X's dotting the exterior of this vehicle. It looked like someone was trying to draw the universe on the outside of this vehicle. I'm thinking, good Lord, I hope they found everything so that when I return it, I don't get, dinged for a ding that they just didn't catch before. I don't know. I mean, I drive in a big city, so it's possible I park in a big city too. So it's always possible something else could happen. But if I get dinged for anything, I'm always going to wonder. Anyway, so I get in the car to start it after we've done the walk around, and it's like a space shuttle in there. There's a screen behind the steering wheel. It's not like the gauges, it's a screen. There is a screen that when you turn it on kind of slowly comes up in the center of the console right in front of the window. And that's okay. And I look down and I have no idea where the radio controls are. It took me 2 days to figure out how to change my radio from rap, which I'm not really a rapper, to something else. And in the meantime, I hadn't figured out how to turn it down either. So I was listening to rap at somewhat decent volume for a couple of days. It's fine. At least it wasn't offensive rap. It just was, it's not the kind of music I normally listen to. I did figure out how to changed it to a country station, and I haven't touched it since because I'm not actually sure how I did that. Anyway, but I did figure out where the volume is, so I can at least turn it up and down now. Even the gentleman who worked at the rental agency couldn't figure out how to work the car. Oh, and another cool thing, the mirrors in this midsize SUV, this is super cool because I park in a big city. When you turn the car off, they fold in all by themselves. It's kind of cute. But as I'm thinking about that, I realized I never actually had to adjust the mirrors. They were all like totally perfect. I could see everything I needed to see. I feel like that might be magic. That's magic. Anyway, so I get in this car and I drive away. This car almost immediately notified me that it was due for an inspection. I'm like, well, crap. I don't know how to fix that. So, and also within the first 24 hours, the key battery notified me that it needed to be replaced, or the car told me that the battery needs to be replaced. And then like 12 hours later, I got like a screaming notification that I had low tire pressure, which I've had the car for a couple days. I literally finally was able to get fixed today, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, it's fortunate that I got it fixed, but it took me a little while. Anyway, let's talk about this car's safety features. This car apparently has my best interests at heart. The first morning I got it, I went through the drive-thru and it screamed at me the whole time. I don't know if it was trying to save me money. It didn't want me to purchase coffee. It was reminding me that I should have maybe made coffee at home and brought it with me. I could have saved myself some money, but I haven't taken it back through a drive-thru since. It was very loud, and I have no idea how to turn it off. There are yellow lights on the mirrors for proximity. I've seen that. You drive in a big city, you see like these little flashy things as you're driving by other vehicles. My youngest vehicle is a 2012. It does not have safety features. I have to look around all by myself and figure out if there are things nearby. But as you're driving through traffic, I've actually kind of gotten to where I'm ignoring it now at this point. But like, you will be passing somebody on a multi-lane road and the little side view mirror lights will flash at you, which if you're like me and you get up early before it's light outside and there are little flashy lights in the dark next to your face and your peripheral vision, it's a little jarring. It really surprised me the first time it happened. I'm actually surprised I didn't jerk the wheel because it surprised me that much. Oh, another fun fact, when you're driving in heavy traffic, the center screen periodically admonishes you to like check your surroundings. Why? I don't understand that at all. Like, why would you be looking at a screen when you really should be looking at the traffic around you? But hey, whatever. And the car also periodically emits screeches of terror when other cars get too close. So that's fun. So I work in a city that is in the top half of a list of the 10 most congested cities in the US. We're all aggressive drivers. If we weren't, we'd never get where we needed to go, or at least it would take us a long time. Fun story about how aggressive being in a congested city makes you. So I was driving around Kansas City. I was TDY one time, and I was at work, and I started hearing stories about like there was some accident on the interstate and it was going to be terrible and we should avoid the interstate, except I had a meeting and I had to go face the interstate and everyone was telling me how terrible the traffic was going to be. So I leave to head to my next meeting and I get on the interstate and I am whipping around, and in the city I work in, we use turn signals, but it's more of I'm letting you know why I've begun moving my car sign than a request to come over. Sometimes actually we're lucky if people do use their turn signals. Anyway, so I'm pulling out into traffic and I do my typical, like I'm starting my maneuver and then I do my turn signal thing, and I realize people are letting me in. Like, people are actually backing off from me so that they don't, get involved in the accident that I'm clearly trying to start with my aggressive city driving. And I realized about a mile later that I was in traffic and these people were letting me in. Like, if I turned my turn signal on, they let me in. So I felt like a jerk, right? I drive like an asshole. Anyway, my car clearly thinks so as well because I have terrorized this car. So I have a couple of pet peeves in traffic. One of them is if you are in traffic and there is a particular lane that you need to be in to make a turn or maneuver as you go through traffic, if you are the jerk who drives all the way up and cuts in at the last minute to the lane you need to be in, you're not getting in front of me. I will wreck my car first. So there is a particular spot in my commute where there is one lane that you need to be in order to turn right on a road I need to turn on. This road, like, it's a 2-lane road. You have to be in the right lane, and sometimes it backs up pretty well. And there's also on both sides, on the right side, there is a merge in lane, and then people often on the left side will drive up as far as they possibly can and then cut in at the last minute to be at the front of the line to be able to turn right on this road. It pisses me off strongly. So a lot of times I do the right thing because I try, as much as I drive like an asshole, I try not to be an asshole. So I'm in the right lane and I'm following traffic and I'm fuming because I see everyone in the left lane passing me by and you can see them cut over. So I very purposely, and I am laser focused, follow the vehicle in front of me super closely. And you have to pay a lot of attention to make sure that you're not going to hit the vehicle in front of you if you drive like an asshole, which I do. So, and FYI, I've never actually rear-ended anybody, and I've been driving this route for years. So, first time I drove this rental, I'm in traffic, and I am nose to tail with the vehicle in front of me in the lane I should be in, because trying not to be an ass, I have a vehicle on my right, and a vehicle on my left, and a vehicle in front of me that I am being very careful not to rear end, and I am laser focused on my surroundings. And my car screamed at me, and I nearly rear-ended the person in front of me. And I look over at the screen, and it is flashing, and it's literally scrolling across the center screen is check your surroundings while it's screaming at me. Why the hell would I be looking at a screen if I'm actually paying attention to the things around me? This car is a menace. These safety features. I nearly had a heart attack. I nearly hit the cars around me. At some point, those safety features are literally going to cause cardiac arrest in an aggressive driver. So, wow, those safety features are totally distracting for me, man. Not a good look. So here's what I think, though. In theory, maybe those safety features are a good idea. I mean, screaming at me while I'm going through the drive-thru, yeah, I mean, that's totally a deterrent. I will save my money, thank you, car. When I'm in traffic and I should actually be watching the road around me, for my car to ask me to take my attention away from the things around me and look at a screen, I guess good in theory, bad in practice, I don't know. Maybe good for non-aggressive drivers. There needs to be an aggressive driver setting in these things, or a quieter setting or something. Anyway, anybody who gets used to using or relying on these safety features, I feel like they're setting themselves up for failure. What happens if the chips fail or if something goes a little haywire? People are going to crash into each other. It's terrible. You have people pissed about the safety features failing when they should have been pissed at themselves for not actually paying attention to the things going on around them. I feel like these safety features are going to make people reliant on someone else to keep them safe or something else to keep them safe when they actually should just be more diligent and keep themselves safe. It's a little concerning. To me, the safety features issues parallels issues that could be caused by safety features provided by any entity, including our government. But that's probably a different podcast. Thanks for listening.